nofsinhar tajjeb jiena Anna Marija nilqakom għall-programm MOTORSMT. Miegħi nilqa' lill-grupp tal-Porsche Club Malta. Merħba fil-programm lil Andrew Spiteri, il-President, lil Anthony Camilleri, Classic Porsche Event Manager, u lil Mendi Tabone tal-Porsche Club Malta Ladies Event Manager. Tajjeb għax kienu naqra fit-tul, imma xorta laħħaqtu vera. Il-klab, kif beda?
Mela, fis-sebgħinijiet kien hawn Porsche Club f'Malta, però ma kienx recognized uffiċjalment. Iktar tard fit-2006-2007 kien hemm il-former president tal-club Andrew Cawkey illi għamel il-club official ma' Porsche Clubs Worldwide u beda minn hemm. Jiena dħalt membru fit-2008 u 10 sin ilu 2014 kont sirt il-president tal-club għax Andrew kien waqaf u ġejt jien Andrew nsertajna. U il-club kien dak iż-żmien kien pjuttost kwiet, ma kienx kbir, numri kienu baxxi bħala membri, eccetera. U bil-mod il-mod bnejnieh blajnuna tal-committee, eccetera, obviously.
Meta tgħid żgħir skużi, kemm kienet in-numru tal-karozzi dak iż-żmien ġifieri?
Well, bħala membri iktar l-isnaj dak iż-żmien, il-membri kien niżlu in the region of 20-30 biss. Illum għandna qrib 300 bħala membri, so it is naħseb l-ikbar club f'Malta bħala single brand, għax obviously Load Motors għandhom il-brands kollha, obviously club ikbar. Però bħala membership naħseb li dana li huwa l-ikbar wieħed f'Malta. Aħna rikonoxxuti official club, importanti ħafna x'hemm ħafna regolamenti li timxi magħhom kif tagħmel affarijiet u bdejna minn hemm. Fil-bidu dejjem kien l-idea ta' klab ta' karozzi f'Malta tiltaqa' x'imkien, poġġi karozzi x'imkien u nħarsu lejhom. Dal-konsept aħna ma tantx nagħmluh fil-verità. Aħna nimxu hemm sort of outline kif jimxu clubs internazzjonali, dan Porsche Clubs huma l-ikbar clubs ta' karozzi fid-dinja, meta taqgħodhom f'daqqa. Naħseb l-unika club li huwa akbar minna u ta' Harley Davidson, fil-verità mhux karozzi, imma it's a motoring club. Aħna nagħmlu attivitajiet diversi barra niltaqgħu b'xi karozzi tagħna, nagħmlu attivitajiet li jkunu kulturali u soċjali fejn nagħmlu attivitajiet li ngħinu fejn nistgħu il-komunità tagħna. Allura, b'dak l-aspett aħna involvu il-familja kollha fil-klabb kif sta jkun, dal-aħħar sentej, issa forsi spjega xejn iktar Mendi, għamilna sort of a ladies part of the club fej jagħmlu attivitajiet separati. U il-klabb bat naqsmu f'diversi aspetti għandna l-classics li joħsibhom Anthony primarjament. U mbagħad għandna attivitajiet li jagħmluhom il-klabb kollha.
Kif ikunu dawn l-attivitajiet Mendi?
L-attivitajiet fejn jidħlu nisa nippruvaw kemm jista' jkun involvu l-ikbar numru ta' nisa kemm jista' jkun. Anka bħala klabb fejn jidħlu karozzi, eċċetera. Ġifieri anke meta pereżempju jkollna attivitajiet fejn jidħol il-klabb kollu, in-nisa huma inkoraġġuti wkoll biex anke jaħdu sehem fejn jidħlu l-karozzi per se. Però meta mbagħad ikollna l-attivitajiet fejn jidħlu nisa biss, ikollna social events fejn jew niltaqgħu għal-ikla fil-għaxija, sifirna flimkien ukoll, pereżempju waħda mill-attivitajiet li kellna kienet Ruma. Attivitajiet kulturali bħala nisa kellna wkoll, pereżempju darba minnhom kellna anke wkoll dawra mal-imdina, eċċetera, kienet ħadna gost ħafna konna. Issa fil-fatt ippjanati diġà għandna attivitajiet anke fejn jidħol il-miliet u dana, però anke bħala attivitajiet ta' nisa, bħala klabb ġifieri, ninvolvu wkoll l-idea li niġbru fondi anki għal fejtlu soċjetà u dal-affarijiet. Ġifieri mhijiex sempliċiment event soċjali fejn taqgħod bil-qiegħda qatt tiekol ħadd gost mal-ħbib tiegħek u daqshekk. Ġifieri hemm aġenda oħra fis-sens li hemm għajnuna li aħna nagħtu bħala klabb. Normalment nagħmlu ħafna attivitajiet fejn niġbru ħafna flus anke għal Puttinu pereżempju li huwa il-main target tagħna bħala klabb per se. U kemm jista' jkun ippruvaw li anka jekk event sewwa tant per head ngħidu mela allura għandna biċċa ekstra għalfejn biex il-kumplament jingħata lill-puttinu li fl-istess ħin naħseb hija għajnuna kbira. Anki għal proġetti li qegħdin jagħmlu bħalissa puttinu ġewwa l-Ingilterra bħala bini ġdid u hekk, ġifieri dejjem għajnuna.
Anthony, semmejna l-puttinu u l-events, intu wkoll il-manager tal-events. Fi żmien il-miliet, x'tagħmlu bħala grupp?
Fi żmien il-miliet ikonna l-iktar event importanti għall-klabb u l-iktar event importanti tas-sena. L-event issir on the Sunday between Christmas and New Year normalment. Hija miftuħa l-event mhux għall-club members biss, fil-fatt għall-owners tal-Porsches Malta kollha. L-idea hi li għal dik l-event partikolari niġbru kemm jista' jkun karozzi biex niġbru donations imħabba puttinu. Bdiet bħala event żgħira u kull sena tikber. Is-sena l-oħra fil-fatt ilħaqna is-somma sabiħa ta' xi 22,000 li tajna lill-puttinu ġast f'dak il-perjodu ta' bejn il-Christmas u l-ewwel tas-sena. Ovvjament dis-sena qed nerġgħu naħsbu fuq dal-event. Apparti l-event li ssir dik il-ġurnata nkun inna naħsbu fuqha is-sena kollha. Nagħmlu anke events oħra matul is-sena kif qalet sewwa Mendi li jekk organizzajnik la nippruvaw nagħmlu ġabra u speċi nibdew niġbru fondi għal din l-event għall-puttinu. Norganizzaw ukoll kalendarju, nagħmlu kalendarju darba fis-sena u ovvjament dan ikun sponsored minn nies u minn kumpaniji u minn membri. U l-flus kollha li jinġabru imorru għall-puttinu, l-ispejjeż joħroġhom il-klabb tal-kalendarju bħalli milli niġbru ma nitilfu xejn. Kull ma niġbru kollu imur għall-puttinu. Il-klabb
huwa strictly non-profit, bl-ebda attività jew oġġett li nagħmlu m'hemm xi qliq fih, assolutament. L-unika dħul li għandu l-klabb huwa il-membership fee li nħallsu aħna stess. Il-bqija il-klabb li jagħmel u li dan huwa dejjem towards charity jew inkella għal membri stess. Naf jekk għamilna l-argument polo shirts jew xi ħaġa tkun prezz irħis biex dak li jkun jieħu vantaġġ minna għax qiegħed membru fil-klabb.
Tmorru tikkompetu barra minn Malta bħala karozzi?
Mela, tajjeb semmejta. Mela, aħna bħala klabb insifru bil-karozzi tagħna barra minn Malta. Insifru darbtejn fis-sena kważi. U f'dak il-każ tkun tour, mhux competition. Bażikament norganizzaw dawra għandna kif morna Sardenja, pereżempju, kien interessanti ħafna. Għamilna it-targa Florios għalija, però mhux bħala tellija, però bħala tour. Morna bħala klabb ukoll, però di darba mhux bil-karozzi tagħna fit race tracks barra minn Malta, morna f'diversi postijiet, fosthom l-aħħar li morna Franċakorta, l-Italja, fejn kellna one-on-one instruction ma' professional driver ġo Porsches biex jurik x'inhu kapaċi nagħmel karozza fit-track. Però din is-sena ġrat xi ħaġa taqsabiha ħafna, club member tagħna għandu 911 GT3, 992, l-aħħar verżjoni, biex nkun korrett ta' qabel tal-aħħar samlu update, imma insomma. U qed jikkompeti biha fl-Italja, kompeta biha fl-Italja mill-kampjonat sħiħ u għamel suċċess tajjeb ħafna xirnexxielu jiġi t-tieni fil-kampjonat ma' drivers Taljani kollha illi xi ħaġa tajba ħafna.
Malti ieħor li qed jagħmel suċċess.
Yes, Daniel Montebello.
Awguri.
Semmuħax, he's online u kulħadd għamel suċċess kbir.
Anthony, għandek xi ringrazzjamenti?
Ovvjament nirringrazzja il-membri kollha tal-klabb li dejjem jipparteċipaw, speċjalment meta norganizzaw events li nħossibhom jien tal-Classic Cars. Meta jkollna events hekk, ovvjament iktar ma jiġu nies iktar ikunu suċċess. U jekk ma jiġux il-membri.
Ekku, Mendi, Xi ringrazzjamenti?
L-istess ħaġa, għaliex bħalissa fil-fatt għandna event ġej fil-lejn il-miliet fej huwa immirat għan-nisa u n-numru qed jiżdied iktar u iktar ġimgħa wara ġimgħa fil-fatt il-lendu ngħidu bżonn iktar.
Tifissru daw aktar nies, aktar
aktar fondi għal-puttinu, aktar membri għaliex ovvjament ikun hemm iktar nisa li forsi kunu għadhom daħlu allura insiru iktar nafu lil xulxin. U fl-istess ħin hija xi ħaġa sabiħa bħala klabb li bil-mod il-mod iktar ma nies isiru jafu lil xulxin, aħna isna familja llum il-ġurnata. Taf kif? U dik hija xi ħaġa li ma tibdilha ma' xejn. Li taf li inti pereżempju hemm event u ħatmur mhux ħadd gost biss imma ħatiltaqa' ma' nies li okej huma ħbib tiegħek imma tant issir close flimkien illi litteralment isek qed tiltaqa' mal-familja tiegħek. U event ikun iktar isbaħ mbagħad.
Ekku. Andrew.
Mela. Iva, ovvjament, l-ħaġa nirringrazzja il-Mandy u l-Anthony u l-komplement tal-committee members. I have to mention Darren Gatt u Nicky Falzon, Martin u Jonathan u Ryan. Daw kolla jawżaw il-ħin tagħhom biex jgħinu biex nagħmlu l-attività tinvolvi ħafna ġiri biex taqgħad dak mal-ieħor, eċetera. Ma jistax ninsa l-sponsors tal-kalendarju daw jikkontribwixxu għal ammont sostanzjali mit-20,000 li nġabru. Jien ngħidlek aktar minn nofs jagħmlu kumpaniji li ħafna minnhom huma jew tal-karozzi stess tal-membri, però hemm anke oħrajn li huma nies oħrajn għandhom negozji jkollhom pjaċiri li jagħmlu il-logo tagħhom fuq il-kalendarju u jagħtu donation il-puttinu. Bħalma qal iktar qabel Anthony, kull ma jiġġabar kollu kemm hu mingħajr tnaqqis ta' xejn imur kollu għall-puttinu. Il-klabb mbagħad jagħmel kalendarju space kollha, eċetera. Punt żgħir fuq puttinu drive li nagħmluha il-ħadd bej il-militaru tas-sena hija l-isbaħ esperjenza hija barra li ġbor flus li importanti. Li kollok tifel miegħek fil-karozza u jitkellem miegħek, eċetera, 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 u dana sar sabiħ ħafna. Ma ninsa nirringrazzja l-aħħar darba ġew Transport Malta għax jissapportjawna wkoll tuna skorta dikinhar. U fil-passat kienu jiġu l-pulizija u anke l-eżew xi darba, ma dan l-aħħar Transport Malta din ikunu
Ġarawkom.
Yes, of course. Aħna niltaqgħu fil-parkeġġ ta' bejn l-isptar u l-Università, Minna number 6. Nista' jkun fuq social media minn xi dista fil-ħodu u dak il-ħin kull min għandu Porsche jista' jiġi u min m'għandux jista' jiġi wkoll, mhux problema. Min aħna l-klabb tagħna miftuħ anke għal min m'għandux karozza, mhux problema.
Proset. Nawguralkom għal aktar saħħa, għal aktar saħħa fl-events li tagħmlu biex tieħdu gost, tagħtu gost, nixtieqilkom il-miliet it-tajjeb u s-sena tajba. Grazzi. U għafa qasira r-riklami u nkomplu wara. Lura fil-programm u issa niltaqgħu ma' Marcus Harrison.
So I'm joined today by my good friend, Mark Grenside, who's very kindly brought this beautiful pagoda. Mark, welcome. Thanks for your time bringing the car today.
No, not at all.
And we're going to have a little walk round and a chat about this beautiful car.
Fine.
Follow us. So it's a 280 SL, which is obviously the engine to have. But Mark, you've had some work done to this car.
Yeah, I mean, when they brought them out in the late 60s, this is a 67 version, Mercedes were up against the E-Type Jag, Dino and 911S, let alone the RS, and they knew it was underpowered at 170 brake horsepower. They tried to put a V8 in it, but it was too nose heavy. So a few of them, they worked on stroking the engine. So instead of this being 2.8 litres, it's now 3.2 litres. And they did a few of them, and it makes a huge difference. It upped the brake horsepower from 170 to about 230, massive increase in torque. And since then, I've diligently tried to get the weight down, so replaced the radiator because it weighed a ton.
You mentioned that you took the power steering.
I took the power steering out. That weighed 20 kilos, so that went out. And then when it was ordered, the guy who spec'd it out in Switzerland had some very rare things added to it. The hubcaps cover wheels, but normally those are iron. These are, or steel, I mean. These are aluminium behind there, which is quite rare. And it's got a limited slip differential, of which less than 0.75% of all Pagodas have a limited slip.
So that was a factory limited slip
Yeah,
differential.
factory
Okay,
limited
I
slip.
misunderstood. I thought something.
Factory alloys. Yeah. So it's quite brisk. It's not super fast, but it's,
So it's a rare beast made even rarer.
yeah, there are about 10 of these, I think.
Well, I've just travelled in this car with Mark halfway across the island, and I can testify the noise is incredible, the car drives beautifully, the handling is superb. Not sure about the driver, but
Yeah, well.
the car it's something special. I particularly like the colour combination
Yeah.
with the red on the silver, obviously silver being Mercedes racing colour, from going back from the days of the silver arrows. And the design, I mean, I don't like overusing the word iconic, but it is iconic. Paul Brack, I believe, was it?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
designer?
Paul Brack.
What made you choose a Pagoda, Mark? Why? What was the process behind buying this car?
Well, it was a lot of things. I mean, I've been very lucky in my life. Luck shone on me, so I've had quite a lot of exotic sports cars. But when I moved to Malta, I wanted a convertible. The import was such that even though I was allowed to bring in a car because I was moving here, I wanted something that was defined as a classic, so I needed something 50 years old. And as I said earlier, I've had an E-Type, I had a Dino Spider, I'd also had a Fiat Dino Spider. So in period, I wasn't stretching to a Ferrari convertible. So this appeared, it was for sale in Dubai, believe it or not. And I brought it to London and then brought it here.
So it wasn't a car that was on your hit list, it was a car that you saw and fell in love with, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's a car that, as you very kindly said, it's a wonderful design. It wasn't really top of my list at the time because they aren't, you know, they're very good cruising cars, but they're not really sports cars. But this one is a sports car, and as such, I love it to pieces. I've driven it all over the place.
This particular model, the 280 SL, carries the nickname of Pagoda. It's a nickname, but it's become the name people refer to this model as. And it got this now, obviously Mark doesn't have the hardtop on, but if you were to see the hardtop from the front to the rear, it dips in the middle like a Pagoda roof would do, hence the term Pagoda. It's one of those strange things where the nickname has actually become bigger than the correct name for the car. Let's have a look at the interior, Mark.
Sure.
Obviously I can see the steering wheel, and I'm also noticing the gear lever top. But otherwise, is this completely standard? Have you had anything done to it inside?
Well, it looks more standard than it is, except for the steering wheel. The steering wheel is a one-off. I had it made because the old wheels were lovely, but very, very big. The original 230s didn't have power steering, so they had a wheel that was very large that would compensate for the heaviness of the steering. I took it out, A, because of the weight, and B, because of this speed. The steering was too light, so I changed the steering wheel. The gear stick, that is a billiard ball that I bought in Malta from 1922, and some people in Malta very kindly engraved it, and I put it on. So it's my little thing about Malta.
It has a look of an original one.
Yeah, I know,
Quite similar. It was a ball,
I know,
wasn't
but
it?
it was
Yeah.
I bought it here at an auction, an old billiard ball,
Wow.
set of 3. The radio looks like a Becker Europa, but inside it has the gubbins of, you know, digital radio,
Okay, so full
USB,
Bluetooth,
all of that.
all the rest, yeah.
And the air conditioning, it was an option in period. That's what they look like. The trouble is they were like a dwarf blowing through a straw with an ice cube in his mouth. They were useless. So I have a very modern compressor system in there, and that blows out a hurricane of cold air.
Okay, which we need here.
Which we need here.
Very
And the
much so.
armrests, I had that made by
I haven't
Paul
noticed
Brack.
that.
Paul Brack's people make that.
He's got a.
They
I
have
saw
a,
some adverts. They have a workshop up and running, don't
yeah,
they?
they do. And that actually, it's really useful.
Yeah.
A, to put gubbins in, and B, it just needed an armrest.
And did you have the steering wheel made here in Malta as well?
No, that was made in the UK. It's a one-off. It's the only one they did.
Wow.
I think because when they quoted me a price, they had no idea how expensive it was going to end up being.
Okay.
And they did one, and they'll never do another.
So I believe these were mechanical fuel injections on these, Mark.
Yeah, Mercedes led the way with these, frankly, because of Messerschmitt during World War II. The Spitfire was a much better plane in manoeuvring, but it had starvation problems. It worked on carburetors. But Messerschmitt had developed fuel injection to stop starvation, and Mercedes took that over, and it was originally the first car with fuel injection was the Gullwing,
Okay.
and this was the first mass-produced car with it.
Okay, so it's a Google Fisher system, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Very good. I'm also noticing modified radiator.
Made in Malta.
Made in Malta.
Made in Malta. Yes, we put a different radiator on. We improved the mechanical pump, and we wrapped all the exhausts in heat-proof wrap, because temperature on these things is a problem, especially living here, and especially with the increased oomph this has.
Yeah.
But it's fine now.
Yeah, I can imagine. And you mentioned before that
Yeah,
you've
that's the air
modified,
conditioning.
but again, it looks correct.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a new
No.
compressor in there. In fact, it's an older restoration. I think you told me 2011.
Yeah, 2011. It was done by a Pebble Beach judge in Pebble Beach. It was in America for a while after Geneva. Then from America, it went to, as I said, the Middle East, where I brought it back to the UK and then to here. I have a wonderful mechanic here, Mario Camansuli, who I would put up against any of the Ferrari and Porsche guys I had in the past. And he says the bodywork and everything is top notch.
You can see the car just, when you've been around cars for a long time, as I'm sure you'll appreciate, you can tell if the car is right. Sometimes you can tell from across the road by the way it sits, the way it looks, things have been done properly, and this definitely falls into that category.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I think the next thing we're going to do is have a little drive, which I'm looking forward to.
Grazzi hemmhekk ta' dak il-feature tant interessanti, grazzi lilkom għal tal-li segwejtu programm ieħor MOTORSMT. Nirringrazzja li Dreżjer għall-ilbis sakemm nerġgħu nagħmlu appuntament ieħor għal magħkom. Nixtieqilkom s-saħħa.